How are you? Are you doing okay? It's August now. Are you like,
Oh my gosh, life just happened way too fast. Where did July even go?
I totally get it, but let's just be mindful and sit here for a minute and join me as I talk about what I read in the month of July. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so July was kind of a slow month for me. I did dedicate July towards one series, and that series is Shatter Me. So I want to start out by saying I'm not going to go into the full detail of every single book, but just generally speaking of what I thought of Shatter Me, because there's a lot of things that unfold throughout the series that, of course, I don't want to share and I don't want to ruin it for you. So, Shatter Me, it is a dystopian young adult fiction that follows Juliet. Now, Juliet has the curse of a deadly touch. So, the book starts out with her in isolation because she accidentally harmed someone. Her parents actually placed her there, and spoiler alert, her parents suck. Okay. Her parents suck. But this whole book is about how Juliet despises her abilities and she views it as such a curse. I did rate this whole series as a 4.5. Some of the books will be rated as 3.75 up to 4.75. I just really love how Juliet eventually gains confidence, looks at her curse as a gift, because there's lessons within this book where we all have that something that we don't like about ourselves. And this book kind of teaches us how to eventually love it, how we can embrace it and use it to our advantage. It's great. It's great. First book, if I'm being honest with you, it was kind of tough for me to read because the author, Tahira Mafi, she is very, very dramatic, very metaphorical with how she writes. Okay, I forgot to say one thing about Shatter Me. I know I spoke about the author and how she's like so metaphorical. She really exaggerates a lot. She uses a lot of imaginary type of descriptions. There's even a part in the last book that I couldn't tell if this is a metaphor or is this actually happening. Literally, the first chapter, I was like, what is happening right now? It was a lot to where I was like, is this actually happening? Or is this just her doing her usual take on how she writes, you know? But you kind of get over that. You do. Just trust me. I could see how that is not something that people would necessarily want, but that kind of dwindles down to as the series progresses. I think that this is a great series and I would recommend it to anyone. The next book that I read is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This is the thickest lit fic that I've ever read. I don't think I reach for literary fiction much, but I've heard so many great things about this book that I just had to. So, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is following three friends, two of which have known each other since like grade school. They're childhood friends. The book centers around their coming of age and their journey with creating video games. And I am not a video game girly. I really have poor eye and thumb coordination. I can't think like that, but that didn't really bother me at all. It has three different timelines, which is past from the childhood, college, and then present timelines. There are some friends to lovers trope, semi love triangle, and there are conversations around depression. So, just something to think about. If you like literary fiction, I would definitely suggest this. It wasn't for me, but I know that a lot of people did enjoy reading this book. I did kind of find it a little bit boring. I just need a little bit more pizzazz, you know, but of course, this is what comes with this genre. I'm just not used to reading this, but I will say that the ending is brilliant. I love the ending. It was one of those endings where you close the book and then you kind of just have to sit there and think about it and absorb it because it was really impactful to me. But I gave this book 4 stars. All right. Lastly, I did read When in Rome, and I did speak about When in Rome in my reading vlog. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch that. I will have that link somewhere in the corner. I'm still new to this, okay? I have no idea where the I is, but I will have that linked. When in Rome, it is a grumpy sunshine, small town, closed door romance. So that is If that is your flavor, definitely consider picking it up and reading it. But we are following Amelia. She is an international superstar who needs a break. Okay, she wants to go to Rome. She's inspired by Audrey Hepburn, by this one movie that she watched, but she wants to go to Rome. But she does have a tour coming up. So, Rome, Italy is probably not going to be the most realistic and most accessible option for her at this time. But she does drive 2 hours away to go to Rome, Kentucky. So her car breaks down and in comes Noah, masculine, her masculine, macho, grumpy man that she instantly basically falls in love with. And I really didn't love this book because it just felt very insta lovey to me. I didn't really get a sense for their chemistry. Their banter was okay. And the conflict wasn't really enough for me to want to be like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? Oh my gosh, I didn't really get that feeling. If anything, I even predicted what was going to happen. I even was basically shouting out the solution for them to figure this out because I feel like the book could have been done halfway through if they had just talked it through. It was one of those situations where they're preventing themselves from getting with each other, falling in love with one another because they're not communicating about their feelings. And I don't love that about a trope. But I did give it a 3.75 stars. If you do love that closed door romance, clean romance, small town, grumpy sunshine, I would still recommend it. Well, that's it. I know that was possibly a really quick video. Maybe I shouldn't have filmed this. But regardless, I really wanted to share with you what I read, specifically the Shatter Me series. Even though I can't share all of the, I think 5 books that I read, 6 books, I can't really give you all the details. I really wanted to share with you that I think it's worth picking up if you can get over that first book with the author's very specialized way of writing. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending time with me if you've made it this far. Don't forget to look at my previous video as well. And please like and subscribe and support this channel. I would really appreciate it and hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.